Newt Gingrich, attacking Romney, said, Romney is a Massachusetts moderate who in fact is pretty good at managing the decay. He said that Romney has given no evidence in his years in Massachusetts of any ability to change the culture or change the political structure. And then a little while ago on CBS News, Newt Gingrich, as we indicated, called Mitt Romney a liar. He said that he was Romney-boated by these ads. In the October 8 debate, former Senator Santorum said about Romney, the final point I would make to Governor Romney, you just don't have credibility, Mitt, when it comes to repealing Obamacare. Your plan was the basis for Obamacare. Your consultants helped Obama craft Obamacare. And to say that you're going to appeal it, you just have no track record on that we can trust that you're going to do that. And then we come to the final two debates, the January 8 and the January 7 debates. Newt Gingrich said about Romney, and I think that a bold Reagan conservative with a very strong economic plan is a lot more likely to succeed in that campaign than a relatively timid Massachusetts moderate who even the Wall Street Journal said had an economic plan so timid it resembled Obama. So I think you've got to look at, Massachusetts was fourth from the bottom in job creation under Governor Romney. And then former Senator Santorum said, well, if his record was so great as governor of Massachusetts, why didn't he run for re-election? Governor Romney lost by almost 20 points. Why? Because at the end of that campaign, he wouldn't stand for conservative principles. He ran from Ronald Reagan. And he said he was going to be to the left of Ted Kennedy on gay rights, on abortion, a whole host of other issues. We want someone when the times get tough, and it will in this election. We want someone who's going to stand up and fight for the conservative principles, not bail out on it and not run to the left of Ted Kennedy. And one of the most scathing attacks against Romney came from Newt Gingrich when Romney was talking about how he only ran for one term in Massachusetts because he came in and worked for the people of Massachusetts and accomplished a lot, and then he left. And Newt Gingrich said, can we drop a little bit of the pious baloney? The fact is, you ran in 94 and lost. That's why you weren't serving in the Senate with Rick Santorum. The fact is, you had a very bad re-election rating. You dropped out of office. You had been out of state for something like 200 days preparing to run for president. You didn't have this interlude of citizenship while you thought about what you wanted to do. You were running for president while you were governor. You were going all over the country. You were out of state consistently. So this again was Newt Gingrich, a Republican, slamming Romney. He went on to say, you then promptly re-entered politics. You happened to lose to McCain as you lost to Kennedy. And now you're back running. You've been running consistently for years and years and years. So this idea that suddenly citizenship showed up in your mind, just level with the American people. You've been running for at least the 1990s. And of course, Huntsman got slammed by Romney for working under Obama in the last 2 years as ambassador to China. And Huntsman wasn't going to take that lying down. And so he said, right after Romney said, I just think it's likely that the person who should represent our party running against President Obama is not someone who called him a remarkable leader and went to be his ambassador in China. Huntsman responded, this nation is divided because of attitudes like that. And then after the applause, he said, The American people are tired of the partisan division. They've had enough. And Newt Gingrich also attacked Romney's company, Bain Capital, by saying, if you look at the New York Times article, I think it was on Thursday, you would clearly have to say that Bain at times engaged in behavior where they looted a company, leaving behind 1,700 unemployed people. That's the New York Times. So that was Newt Gingrich quoting the New York Times about Romney's Romney's company. And a couple more remarks from Santorum about Romney. Well, business experience doesn't necessarily match up with being the commander-in-chief of this country. And I don't think Governor Romney's plan is particularly bold. Or is it particularly focused on where the problems are in this country? And Huntsman said about Governor Romney, he doesn't quite understand this situation. What he's calling for would lead to a trade war with China, as they were discussing the China situation. It makes for easy talk and a nice applause line, but it's far different from the reality in the United States-China relationship. So it seems to me, maybe it's a matter of time before the Republicans will start playing the game Angry Birds in the right way and focusing their attention on President Obama. But right now, it seems that they're kind of confused about this game. They're definitely a group of angry birds, but they're launching their attacks, strangely enough, at each other. I know that a lot of you will say, well, they kind of have to do that because they want to be the President of the United States and they want to win the nomination against the other Republicans. But in the past, most of the time, the Republicans have done that by touting their own credentials, by talking about why each of them would make the best president, instead of tearing each other down. This year, it seems like in order to become the nominee, the Republican nominee of the party, they're really engaging in a lot of tearing down of one another. We'll see if that works for them, but it certainly is giving the Democrats and President Obama a lot to use against the Republican candidate in the future, in the general election. Again, if you want to read the complete report, please go to thisweekwithmitchgrosky.wordpress.com. And if you have a chance, also check out my photography at www.mrgroskyphoto.com. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll be back again soon with some more of This Week with Mitch Grosky.